Welcome to today's physics class. Today we will discuss about Ohm's law. So we have an electric circuit means that is if you have a conductor, through that conductor some current is passing. So when the current will pass through a conductor, when we apply a potential difference or a voltage or a cell, when a cell is connected or any source of electricity is connected, then a current will pass through the circuit. So when the current is passing through the circuit, there is some relation between how much current is passing through the circuit and how much is the voltage or the potential difference applied across the ends of this conductor. So that relation is called as the Ohm's law. So according to Ohm's law, the current passing through a metallic conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across the ends of the conductor. Or if opposite also you can say the potential difference is proportional to the current or the current is proportional to the potential difference. And if you take the proportionality constant of this one, that is current is proportional to voltage or voltage is proportional to current, means we can write V is proportional to I. So when you remove this proportionality sign, we have to go for a constant there. Or we can write V is equal to I into R, or this R is the proportionality constant in this equation, and this R is called as the resistance of the conductor. So that is a very basic thing about our Ohm's law, and this Ohm's law is applicable when the other conditions are remaining unchanged. Other condition means mainly it is the temperature. When the temperature remains constant, there only this resistance will remain as a constant, because this resistance depends on the temperature, that we will discuss later. So the main equation or the equation representing Ohm's law is V is equal to IR, where V is the potential difference or voltage, I is the current, and R is the resistance. And for this resistance we have an SI unit. Already you might have heard the SI unit of resistance is ohms. For ohm we will use the letter omega for representing ohm. So 1 ohm is a resistance, and you have 10 ohm, 100 ohm, like that. And when it goes above 1000 ohm, we will use the word kilo ohm also. So 1000 ohm is 1 kilo ohm. If you have 2000 ohm, you will say it as 2 kilo ohm. So our point is, when current is passing through a conductor, the potential difference or the voltage across the conductor is directly proportional to the current. Or now we will discuss about the verification of Ohm's law. That is how we can check the Ohm's law or how we can verify Ohm's law. There are so many different types of circuit. So we will go with the circuit which is given in your NCERT textbook. So here we will go for a battery, that is we have a combination of many cells. So one cell is here, and we have the next cell here, and one more cell here, like that you have some 3-4 cells here. So these cells are connected like this. Now from this cell we can take a connection here like this. Different way is possible. I am showing you a particular way, that's all. Okay. So here we have the resistance. So this is the symbol for resistance, and across this resistance we have a voltmeter to measure what is the voltage across the resistance. Now we have to measure the current. For that one we have a ammeter also here. Now this connection I am taking like this here, and you see here my wire is up to here. Now this wire, for time being, I am connecting at this position 1. Here we have 2, 3, 4, like that, different positions it is possible to connect. I think this is clear for you. And for this cell, this side is positive and this side is negative. So for this voltmeter, this side will be positive and this side will be negative. For this one also it is connected like this. So here it will be positive and here it will be negative. Now what we have to do is, we have to check how much is the voltage or how much is the potential across this resistance for different values of current. Or you can say in the opposite way also, if you apply different potential here, how much is the current passing through that one. So let this each cell be of a particular voltage. If the cell which you are using in your torch light and all, or your clock and all is of 1.5 volt, So let each of these be 1.5 volt. Now what we will do, first we will connect here, that is only one cell. When you connect only one cell, the voltage here will be, as I just told now, it will be 1.5 volt. So I am drawing a table here. So in this table I have V here and I here, and this will be resistance, which is V by I. So first, when this entire thing is switched off, you can add a key also here so that we can switch off this one. Okay, as per your textbook, the key notation is this one, plug key. Okay, so that key also is there. So this key, when it is off position, or we can say when the circuit is open, here voltage will be 0, current also will be 0. So no need of calculating the resistance here. Then when you connect the first cell here, what will be the value for the first cell? The voltage will be 1.5. So what is the current through this one? That we don't know. Let it be 0.5 here. When you check here, you are getting 0.5 for example. Okay. Now the next part of the experiment is, from here we will disconnect and we will connect to the next cell. So let this be, because one cell it was how much? It was 1.5. So 2 means it will be 3 volt. So what will be here? Here it will be 1 ampere. Okay, 1 ampere is a little bit big current, just for you to understand I am telling. Now if you connect the third cell also, then what will be the value here? This will be 4.5. So this will become 1.5. Now if you take the next one, that is you connect one more cell, then it will become 6 volt. So here it will become 2 ampere. Okay. Now what is the resistance in the first case? You think about the first case. Here you leave it. Here 1 V by, so this will be 3 ohm. And in the second case, if you take resistance, that also 3 ohm. Here also it is 3 ohm. Here also it is 3 ohm. So if you take the mean value of this one, how much you will get? Our resistance is 3 ohm. So you can see here the resistance remains a constant. This one I randomly written this one. When you do practically, you will get the same thing. And in the actual case, when you do this experiment in the lab, instead of connecting this one, we have a setup where we are using a rheostat, where you can vary the voltage. That after this one I will explain how we are using the rheostat. Okay. Now if you draw a graph for this one, see here, in some books this side is given as V and this side is given as I. In some books it will be opposite also. It doesn't make any difference, because which one we are varying, and with respect to that which one you are checking, that according to, so if you vary the voltage and check current, means you will draw like this. If you are planning to vary the current and check the voltage, means it will be opposite. Now as you can see here 0 0. So I am taking the same way, same voltage is 0 here, here 1.5, here 3, here 4.5, here 6, same way. Okay, here it is 0.5, here it is 1, here 1.5, here 2. So what happened, your first point will be here, another point will be here, or you can say the points will be on this straight line like this. So this is very, very important. When you apply Ohm's law, you can see that the graph is a straight line passing through the origin. That is very, very important. So a particular conductor which obeys Ohm's law, we can see the graph will be a straight line which is passing through the origin. Now if you want to find out what is the value of resistance from this graph, that also is possible. For example, you are taking a triangle like this. You are drawing a small triangle here. So this side will be delta I, this side will be delta V. I think you might have done like this in your max. So this is how much? 6, this is 3. So what is delta V? Delta V means it is 6 minus 3. And what is delta I? Delta I is 2 minus 1. So this will be 3, this is equal to 1. So what is our resistance? Resistance R is given by delta V by delta I, which is 3 by 1, which is 3 ohm. So this is the way of finding resistance from this graph. So you can get such a graph is given, and what is the value of resistance you can calculate from this one. Okay, so if voltage is this side and current is this side, according to that one you have to change, that's all. So this is the way of finding resistance of a material. So when you do practically, if you are getting a straight line from this one, you can calculate, and from here also you can get it. Sometimes only this one will be given, so you find out means you have to find that. If table is given means by this one also. So if it's small difference is there means you can take the average. Actually there will not be any difference, but when we do the experiment there can be small experimental error, so that small difference can come here. Okay, that's what I just told you. Now I told one more thing about the rheostat. So how this rheostat works, that also we'll see here. The same circuit diagram I am drawing, you have the resistance here and you have a voltmeter here. The very important, if you have a resistance, the voltmeter will be always connected parallel to the resistance, and our ammeter will be in series with this resistance, and you are connecting like this. Now here you have a cell. I am drawing a big battery with 3 cells. Here you have a key which you can connect like this. Now the rheostat means here we have a particular connection like this. See here, rheostat is something like this. Okay, so in this during this explanation, the side you will get here one picture of the rheostat. Okay, I will try to include that one. So you see here, this is connected here. Now what is the meaning of this one? For example, this total is having a resistance of 50 ohm. So this one is a thing which we can slide or move over this one. So when you connect here, out of this 50 ohm only 25 ohm is coming when you keep in half. When you move like this resistance will change. When this resistance changes, the current through this entire circuit will change. So instead of removing and connecting here, just if you move you will get different values. So this is the function of the rheostat. So rheostat is allowing to change the resistance according to what you need. Okay, so this is the way of verifying Ohm's law. So this one you have to do as practical also. For your 10th standard you have practical also to. Another important topic related to this resistance is the factors on which resistance of a conductor depends. That is, if you have a wire of a particular length and particular area of cross section, so when the resistance will change. So that's the main point. That is, you think about a wire like this. This type one wire is there. So for such a wire we have a particular resistance. So when the resistance changes, and you know the resistance means it is the opposition to the flow of current. Now you see here, you think about a narrow way through which so many electrons are moving. So there are some collisions. So due to this collisions only this resistance is coming. Why there is a resistance in the metal? When the electrons are moving, there are so many electrons, these electrons will undergo collisions each other. So because of this collision, what will happen? These electrons will slow down. So the resistance, the main factor behind the resistance is this collision. So if you think about a narrow path through which all these electrons are moving. So when the electrons are moving, if the path is very long, then what will happen? Definitely the collision will be more. Or we can say the resistance is proportional to the length of the conductor. So resistance is proportional to the length of the conductor. That is, if the length is doubled, the number of collisions also will become doubled. And if it is 3 times, then that also will become 3 times. Similarly, if you take the area of cross section of the conductor, what is the meaning of area of cross section? Your wire is like this. If you cut like this, here you are seeing a small area. That area is called as the area of cross section. You think about the same pipe-like structure through which the electrons are going. So if you have more area, we have more space to move. So the electrons also have more space to move. So when the area of the conductor is more, what will happen? The resistance will reduce, or we can say the resistance is inversely proportional to the area. Now we can combine these two. I will write it and show you. That is, if you combine these two equation, we can write this resistance is proportional to L by A, where L is the length of the conductor, A is the area of cross section. Now not only these two, what is the material of the conductor? That is also very important. So if you use that one also, the which material is there for different material, we have different resistance. Now you think about the material. So for that material there is some particular property also. So that property is we will call it as the resistivity. So the proportionality constant in this equation, that is R is proportional to L by A, where there we will put a proportionality constant, means that proportionality constant is rho, and this rho is called as the resistivity. So what is the meaning of resistivity? Resistivity means the resistance offered by a conductor of unit length. What is the meaning of unit length? That is 1 meter length, and unit area of cross section. What is unit area of cross section? Means 1 meter square. That is, you have a conductor like this area is 1 meter square and this length is 1 meter. So for such a conductor, how much resistance is there? That is called as resistivity. So for each material, for example copper, we have one resistivity, and if you take iron, we have another resistivity, aluminium another resistivity. So for all materials, this resistivity will be a constant at a particular temperature, because when temperature increases, these electrons will get more and more energy, so their movement will change. So if you take the resistivity of a particular material or a particular element, that will be constant if the temperature changes. So this resistivity also depends on the temperature. So our equation now becomes R is equal to rho L by A. So this is very, very important equation, where rho is the resistivity of the material. For this resistivity also we have a SI unit, that is ohm meter, ohm into meter. Okay, that is the SI unit of resistivity.